This, my fellow ladies and gentlemen, is the last quarterfinal of the day. We already got Todd in the semis, we got Happy and X-Lord, and who will join them? It's either the eternal legend of European Warcraft in Grubby, or it is the ultimate dark horse of pretty much this entire tournament in SaiDe. Yesterday, he was upsetting pretty much everyone when he eliminated Mikael, and we only saw the defense of the Ghoul Rush by Mikael, but that looked pretty strong. And Todd was with us on the broadcast. He knows SaiDe a little, of course, because they played in the Nation War together, and he was like, don't sleep on SaiDe. He's shown a couple of times that he's a force to be reckoned with, and he could ruin community dreams for his best performance of all time in making it to the semifinal, to get that semifinal versus Todd. It's in his own hands. We start on Northern Isles. It is Orc versus Night Elf. And what do you... Okay, you said it already. You think that this is Grubby's weakest matchup? Why do you think so?
Well, I've seen plenty of his games before, and I think if he's at his strongest, he can defeat all the Orcs in Europe, certainly. Against Hitman, he has problems, but Hitman is crazy. Against Human, he showed that here in the tournament before, in this one and in Season 2, how he can defeat absolutely the very best. That seems to be his strongest matchup. And against Undead, it's a little bit hit or miss, I think. Some games look really good, some others don't. But against Night Elf, I've seen him struggle against plenty of Night Elves before, and also against Night Elves who are not supposed to be on his level exactly. I think his win rate is also lower, but I don't go by that necessarily so much. Just comparing his play against Night Elf with some of the other great Orcs, there seems to be a bigger discrepancy there than the other matchups. Lyn is the king, for example, against Human, but Grubby, his Orc against Human, looks similar to Lyn's, honestly. But if we compare his Orc versus Night Elf to, for example, Flies, there seems to be a big difference. It is a very complicated matchup. You have to know exactly where to go. You have to inflict damage while also being able to get progress yourself and have a very good game plan and make sure that so many things don't go wrong. So it's a lot about averting disaster, I feel like, against Night Elf, and making sure you survive unscathed, sort of. Then again, Fly sometimes loses Blade Master, but he is also insanely good. So all that is to say, I think this is his weakest matchup, and SaiDe, he's in the underdog role. There's no pressure on him. Everyone is expecting Grubby to win. Nobody is putting pressure on SaiDe, so SaiDe might surprise us here once again. It might spoil the perfect semifinal.
Indeed. SaiDe against Orc, we don't really know too much about him there. Tournament performances, he is 5-0 recently in 2020, but that's all his games against Orc, or all his recorded games versus Orc. There's not much to learn from. So how does he play? They probably know each other from ladder. And we'll see how this goes. How prepared is Grubby for the Frenchman? This is oh boy, this is so cool. Okay, one best of 3. If Grubby wins, we get Grubby versus Todd. If SaiDe wins, the community is in tears, but we get a French derby in the W3C season finals. We talked a lot. It's time for some action. It's time for this last remaining quarterfinal.
The last best of 3 of the day. Beyond that, we're going to go into best of 5. And our support keeps on raining in, guys. Thank you so much. We have a $3 donation by Kira Slay. Says Warcraft 3 supports since Blizzard doesn't. Imperatrice says Sissy. That's one of the hardest names I've had to read so far. Yep. With a 3-month sub, thank you very much. Jonathan Siegel with a 10 gifted subs. I think we had you earlier. Thank you again. And Liad with a 38 months. Guys, thank you all so very much. Your support for our channel and for War 3 Champions and for the community has been amazing. I was hoping this would be such a, love fest of the community. And I think so far it really has been. And the games have been up to the task as well. And our game now is Grubby versus SaiDe. Let's go.
Yeah, indeed. We love ourselves a love fest, don't we, Remo? We have Grubby.
Oh, yeah.
Opening up with the Blade Master here on the upper right-hand side of Northern Isles. SaiDe in the bottom, opting for a keeper. So Neutron's weird strategies yesterday versus Orc not spreading. That's a good thing. No bottom anymore. This is keeper craft once again. And I'm really curious how he approaches this. He looked really solid. He displayed great micro and decision making yesterday against Mikhail. He knew exactly what to do against this one ghoul rush we saw. So what kind of traps can Grubby set up for him? When can he punish him? What's the game plan?
Yeah, normally it seems to be pretty well established from all the orcs with all their different styles. There seem to be some, what's the word? Some general truths that you want to go by, some general guidelines, and that is especially concerning the Keeper. You want to slow down the Keeper of the Grove almost at all costs. If he gets to level 3 quickly, it's going to be a disaster. And as I said earlier, the plan for Orc normally, especially early game, has to be avert disaster. Avoid a super fast expansion by the Night Elf. Avoid a Keeper getting level 3 quickly. Avoid getting AP pushed and losing. Avoid losing too many grunts. Avoid losing too much HP. There's a lot of things you have to keep in mind. It's a lot about minimizing damage and slowing down the opponent. And what helps with that nowadays is the Peon Scout. This is something that was very hard for Orc to do before, but nowadays with a 21 supply, with a Great Hall, aka 11 supply Great Hall, you can scout it with a Peon, see where the Keeper is, because you need to be efficient with your Blade Master and have proper movement, and that Peon Scout helps with that.
All right then, Blade Master starting off nicely with the Claws of Attack. Grubby fans rejoice. Also the Cloak can be pretty nice, so you don't have to go into Windwalk necessarily. But this is the Keeper on his way to north, and that's the first Entangle. Treant summoned as well. Not much mana was used so far. Second Entangle. Can SaiDe get the kill and open up this best of 3 with the first blood?
I don't think so. There's a speed scroll. Oh! Oh my god, it's so close! Ooh, 1 HP! Are you serious? Calculated.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think he's still gonna die. Oh, he's blocking the treants with the peons.
Wow.
Archer is trying to get in. No heal salve on the grunt. He might still die in the end. There's an AP coming up around the corner.
Nice.
Already, the first couple of issues are rising.
Can he get this grunt? Archer in danger. There's no dust here. He's still blocking with the peons. All these tiny holes blocked, and heal self available now.
Treants.
Whoa, nice summon. Force of Nature used on the right hand side again, but he's moving the grunt to the left hand side. Blocking again.
No way!
Masterclass Warcraft.
Wow, that's amazing. And the grunt will actually survive. And this was so much wasted time for SaiDe. You could argue, yeah, the Blade Master is also wasting time, but this is what the Orc wants.
Yeah.
He wants a slow early game. He wants heroes to be underleveled. If you can avoid leveling at all costs, you will. If you trade level 3 Blade for level 3 Keeper, it's bad for the Orc. And not only was it time wasted, it was also mana wasted. Yeah. The Keeper is out of mana. He used his entire mana pool and didn't get a kill. He forced the heal scroll, the heal salve, or 2, and also the speed scroll. But this was a very bad early game for SaiDe, and Grubby comes in prepared, but there's an AP up, which is certainly a bit of a problem.
Yeah, Grubby scouts for it though, sees it now. Of course, it was super hectic. The peons were used to plug these holes and to keep the grunt safe, but he's doing the right things. Maybe, just a little bit too late. Of course, you can't deal with everything. You have to make decisions. What's your priority? And that grunt was the #1 priority. But now he has to deal with the pressure of this Ancient Protector, and SaiDe is still here. 3 hunts and a Keeper. Quite powerful.
Second hero still takes a little while longer. Trio of Ages will be finished soon. Oh, that Lodge getting attacked. Is that enough damage for the cancel? The AP should be in range. Now he's changing targets. Finally going for it.
A lot of additional damage. Also the grunt getting ensnared here. No dispel yet. Shadowhunter is in for the Serpent Box. The Snake have to save Grubby. That's a lot loss on the Lodge here. That's a lot on the grunt. And SaiDe is accelerating like crazy. This AP might win him the game.
Oh, that save on the grunt though again. Pretty much playback from the earlier stages of this game. Next Entangle comes through. This grunt I think should be dead. That's too much damage. Yeah, that grunt goes down, so it's 2 grunts being lost. That is painful, but there's still no expansion too close around the corner. The Tree of Life has only started a little while ago, so Grubby, I suppose, can afford a few losses with how late the expansion for the Keeper will be. And of course, the Keeper will have to expand with how much he will fall off later on once we finally have Charm.
And it's already at around 40%. Tree of Life at the 6 o'clock position. Not too bad. But what? Hold my phone, Mr. Remo Demo. This is double Ancient of Lore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. No mass hunts. He's going to transition into Dryads then. Very good against Shaman. And also pretty good against Grunts. You know, if this comes as a complete surprise and Grubby can't transition, this could be strong, but the Blade Master is there, sees the main, sees the second hero, Demon Hunter, and with that, you're probably going into Bestiary.
Okay, Lodge is up. Shaman are coming. Bestiary is already at 60%, man. Grubby got that covered, Remo, don't worry. And yeah, is it gonna be mass Dryads? Then Orcs have pretty much hard counters to it. Will he go for bears is the question. Staff out after the entangle, like right away. How fast was this staff? He anticipated this entangle, of course, a couple of seconds ahead. Not losing any extra HP. That's the way. I like it. And the Bestiary is finished as well. So Raider, Shaman, and Grunts, the unit combo for Grubby.
Yeah, seems to be the right call. He needs the Shaman against the Keeper. He needs the Raiders for the Entangle against the Dryads. And maybe even some Kodos. Blade Master coming in again. It's a little low mana here, so this is slightly risky. Misses that last hit. But the big boy is still up for grabs. Oh, the Windwalk runs out. That is very unfortunate.
Oh, just
I'm also going to set Ring of Protection. That's good for his Demon. And the Blade might be in trouble.
Yep.
Level 2 Entangle. Dryad slow though. Doesn't reach.
Okay, that's the last bit of mana. I can't go into a second Windwalk, and the duration isn't endless. Can he reach for another Entangle? Mana wasn't there, so Blade Master should be safe. On the other side of the map, Shadow Hunter is creeping up. Got the big Invul Potion, which is always great against a Keeper. We have Keeper Demon Hunter, not Keeper Alchemist with this strat. And we get a depth upgrade for the Shaman, which is Lightning Shield and more mana regeneration. No tier 3 for SaiDe. It's pure Dryads. Who does he think he is? Moon?
Well, every Night Elf tries to be Moon. We'll see how successful that will be. We're going to have Ultra Vision coming in and more Dryads. The Night Elf certainly cannot afford to go for bears. It would be wonderful to add in bears and 80 supply, but you have to face the reality of timings. Grubby will be fairly strong soon when he has level 3 Shadow Hunter. Throw a heal scroll on top, and SaiDe will have to be ready for a potential push coming in. So he has to stay on tier 2. He has to mass Dryads. And now he's starting to go into it. Abolish coming in against Lightning Shield, I suppose. Also to help with creeping, maybe, and more Dryads. With this mass style, whether it be Huntresses or Dryads, you also need to rely a lot and heavily on upgrades and scrolls. SaiDe is going to the middle right now, but he didn't bank that much gold, so it's hard to afford everything.
Yeah, he just started mining at his expansion. Grubby, by the way, found a Claw +9. You all know how important Claws are for the Blade Master, don't you? Keeper with the Mana Stone. Excellent. Demon Hunter finding some levels, so he's not as squishy anymore. He has evasion, gets a little bit of extra armor, and this Ring of Protection comes in very handy. Now, Blade Master in for steal. That's the heal scroll right there. SaiDe, of course, would have loved to have that, but he has one of his own. Forcing a town portal is Grubby, and this is where he excels. Fighting from behind, not taking the straight up fights, just forcing his opponent into a position where he doesn't want to be and keep him busy, make him force TPs and spend gold that way, and then retreat when the full army is here, and that's exactly what's happening.
Good heads up play here by SaiDe to bring in the Ancient of War. If it wasn't for this AOW, this would be very hard for the Night Elf army to take this fight without that wood shield in front. Demon Hunter taking lots of damage right away, so is the Blade. Double invuln traded.
One is a big one, though. The Demon Hunters will expire earlier. There we go. And thanks to the heal wave, the Blade Master is back to full health. Ancient of War is falling. Grubby with the supply lead. Still pushing forward. That was the last consumable, though.
The Serpent Ward so good against the unarmored units. Against Hunts, we are used to seeing this. Now we see it against Dryads as well. And I didn't want to say it earlier, but Dryads against Orc Neo, we have seen this over the last couple of months. They just never seem to work. So far, haven't looked too impressive, but some return kills now for SaiDe. He's got the shop backup. He got a Raider there, taking up a great trade so far. Oh, the Demon Hunter is surrounded. Needs to go for his staff. He has the staff. But how much healing does he have?
Yeah.
Moonwell's not looking too fine right now. Mountain Giant coming out, but of course, no upgrade for that bad boy.
Not yet, at least. Of course, tier 3 is necessary. He starts it now. SaiDe thinks he's still in a position where he can win this game, even with a long transition. Trying to get some pickups here and there. Purge, freeze the grunt, and again, the heal scroll. Grubby is making excellent use of the heal scroll. Of the speed scroll, sorry.
Yeah, and also the tele staff. He gave it over to the Blade Master, who's resupplying with heal selves, clarities. I was very surprised not to see a peon moving south. You can easily afford the lumber loss. You don't need that really at all. Too much anyways, on tier 2 as Orc. So he could have perhaps brought a peon. Perhaps he forgot about it. I don't know. But here we go, engaging into the next fight. Going for the Dryads instantly. Normally you want to always ignore the Mountain Giants because they're too tanky. But these are two tier 2 Mountain Giants. Yeah. The Grunts would do a lot of damage to them.
Oh my god, and the Dryads are falling left, right, center, and they give a lot of XP, so Shadowhunter's closing in on 4. Blade Master not too far away from that either, and Grubby, of course, knows about the weakness of a Mountain Giant on tier 2. End Snare surround, and that's extra damage from Grunts. How can you use Grunts better than to do this? The Purge so quick! Can you believe this man is 34, 35 years old?
And that was so much experience. Level 7... I guess. 7 supply Mountain Giant. So much experience for him. The Shadowhunter just got level 4 from this. The only thing he's missing is more mana. If there was a mistake this game by Grubby, I think it's the missing peon. Could have been a big help. But you know, everything is starting to drop low now. Slowly but surely. SaiDe is trying to kite back. Trying to whittle down this army bit by bit. Grubby has no more healing. No heal wave. No heal scroll. No salves. Nothing.
No speed scroll indeed. Can SaiDe survive until he has a bigger force? Poison damage stacking up now. 2 grunts about to fall, but I think Grubby denied. Not 100%
sure.
sure.
The Blade Master keeping the experience away from the demon, which is, by the way, very valuable. He's super close to level 3. It's nighttime now, though. And that means there's going to be natural moon juice regen. Grubby realizes he's in a weird position now because if he retreats, he's going to be slowed, he's going to be entangled, and everything is dropping really low.
Oh, that's the Blade Master gone. The taunt trap is real, and more raiders are falling as well. SaiDe all of a sudden turning this game around. Staff out from the Shadowhunter, but that's another grunt. That's another grunt. That is an utter disaster for Grubby, who's losing 5 units and a Blade Master in quick succession, and he could never really turn down or take down this expansion. So SaiDe in an excellent position now.
Yeah, great comeback here by SaiDe. Grubby had a wonderful early game, but the AP got SaiDe back into this game. The push by Grubby looked scary towards the expansion, but SaiDe weathered the storm. And I think at this point we can safely say a big mistake by Grubby not to bring a peon for an aggressive shop down there.
Yeah.
The lack of healing from all sorts, from Shadowhunter, Clarities, and Heal Wave, and Heal Self, that was the big problem here. He's going for a double zapper. Almost, I want to say, desperation play. Those 2 zappers are not enough, by the way. This tree has...
Is the Nature's Blessing?
What's it called? Nature's Blessing, yeah.
And there's Edge Protectors as well. You gotta distract and you gotta follow through. But this could be a play that brings Grubby back into the game. First Sapper connects onto the AP, also onto the tree. And that was the play right here. A little bit of repair. He wants the double connection once again, and he gets it! The Raider damage was enough. Grubby again finding the one opening back into this game. But how to escape now?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Taunt is coming in over and over. The Knife at this point is tier 3. SaiDe lost the expansion, but he still has a strong army and decent resources left. Shadowhunter getting slowed down, getting blocked, and Grubby is in a world of trouble trying to staff out. Is it enough? Just barely in time. He gets out of there, but this Keeper with the Orb, with the Entangles, the MGs finally with their upgrades. Grubby's not ready for this powerful army.
Nope, not at all. And we said it, the tier 2 Mountain Giants, they are not really an issue. Grubby took them out, but now we're at tier 3. Resistance skin is done. We're gonna get the 3rd Mountain Giant, and how do you deal with them? You can't eat them with Kodos. Tauren, the tech tree for Tauren is nowhere near. Grubby has to play his style, avoiding fights, but SaiDe will not allow this.
Yeah, what a back and forth this game has been. Just constantly swinging one way and the other. With great plays by both and a few mistakes here and there. Grubby now getting pressured into the main. No war mill yet, no upgrades, no reinforced defenses. And these MGs are going to be so hard to take out. He can still perhaps kill some Dryads.
Blade is
But
back.
even with the taunts coming in, that's not going to be too easy.
Another AP push. Blade Master just stepped out the altar, is already super hurt. The Hail Mary doesn't work with the Blade Master like this. Mana potion on the Shadow Hunter. Grubby is trying absolutely everything to keep his chances in this game alive, but all he does is suffering.
Yeah, this is not going to lead to a kill. Everything is dying now. The expansion is soon to be up again. And SaiDe lost like 1 or 2 Dryads maybe. He's going to lose another one right there, but they are cheap to replace. So much experience. How long was the Demon Hunter struggling with levels?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
No.
He's level 4. He's super tanky. 9 armor, 2 levels of evasion. Always a staff to protect him. The only dangerous thing is the Keeper. All right, here we go. Hail Mary number 2. Grubby needs to get this kill. Staff, transfer.
Taunt prevents further focus as the Blade Master was distracted. And that's the staff, and that's the safe keeper. Blade Master, though, how safe can he be? Level 4 saves him for now. Another taunt. He micros against it. Poison damage coming in, slow coming in. This taunt doesn't affect him, but the Dryad's chasing! And the Mountain Giant takes him out. Blade Master killed for the 2nd time in this game, and Grubby is down to measly 30 supply. Calls for the GG. And SaiDe takes map number 1.
That was a really fun game. It was back and forth. It was a crazy grunt save at the beginning, but SaiDe realizing with how occupied Grubby was with that grunt, he was able to sneak in the AP. If he doesn't get the AP and kills off the 2 grunts there, following the first failure of the early game, he would have been in real trouble. But super smart play by SaiDe, knowing what he needs to do to keep his chances alive, gets those grunt kills and then transitions into the expansion. Almost died there, but Grubby wasn't quite able to finish the job, and that shop being missing, I think that's going to haunt him. Maybe as a justification for it, but usually it should always be worth it, because you can spend all of your money on army and move out with the army, and the peon walks down with your army, and by the time you land at the expansion, you should easily have the 130 gold to pop down that shop and then later on make use of clarities. I wonder if he thinks it wasn't the right idea, or maybe if he just forgot, but it definitely seems like that shop being missing broke his neck.
Yeah, a little bit too aggressive, maybe a little too sure of himself, thinking that he can finish the job right away, but not the case at all. SaiDe really showing his game sense here, knowing exactly his win condition. I have to hold on, I have to survive, and what a brave move that was. 40 supply, build a tier 2 mountain giant and queuing the tech at the same time. Who does that? Not too many. But that was exactly the time he needed to get the transition to tier 3, the big upgrades, the Orb of Venom, and of course the expansion supported that. Even if Grubby killed it at the end, it was too late. Resources were already there, already spent. Tier 3 Night Elf army, very strong. And that gives SaiDe the win here. By the way, the clean feed guy said the in-game is a little too low. So if you could boost that in a bit, that would be nice. And we're waiting for map number 2. Grubby struggling. Is SaiDe ruining the community's dreams, is the question. Got a couple of subs here throughout the game. I don't know where you ended up. Mookie, thank you for the resub. Same as first. Grubs up. Grizzly, Euleros, Disley Bear, Asselgasse, Barbarossa, Albtraum, and Amatusana, thank you for the subs, and Cheria, thank you for the €1 donation. Glad you enjoy this.
Again, thank you guys very much for the support. Everyone was looking towards Grubby versus Todd in the semifinals. Is SaiDe going to ruin that, what's it called? Reunion, I guess.
Is it a reunion if you meet up to fight each other?
What? No, it's a joyful reunion.
Well, like, they kind of kill each other for like an hour straight, so I'm not too sure if you're right, but...
Nah, they're good friends, as we all know. But who knows if that's going to be the case. Maybe it is going to be the French Derby after all. Dude, imagine if SaiDe wins this tournament. This would be a crazy story.
Yeah, man.
And SaiDe keeps on being underrated, and I am guilty of this myself.
Absolutely.
I thought, well, against Mikael, he doesn't have a chance. Boom, he beats Mikael. I thought, well, against Grubby, he doesn't have much of a chance. And suddenly he has the lead. And might be ruining Grubby's aspirations. and all the hopes of the fans. If he does it, but it's still far from over. Best of 3. We had the maps told to us earlier. What was it again? Turtle Rock, Echo Isles, and Last Refuge.
Yes.
So Echo Isles would be the usual pick for most orcs, especially the top orcs over in Asia have become very good at having a very solid creep route there and movement with the Blade Master. If you ever do get map control, it can be very powerful, stealing the scrolls away, easily counter expanding, the Night Elf having very few options if they are sufficiently slowed down early. And it seemed like Grubby had that down, but out of all the things that he had to keep in mind, maybe he forgot about that AP. Maybe he forgot about sending the peon around the corner.
I think we can't really blame him for that AP, though. There was so much stuff necessary to save this one grunt, and I don't think he had the peon to scout for it. I would cut him some slack there. The grunt save was so awesome.
Yeah, but honestly, if the opponent invests 2 entangles and treants and another set of treants, that is 350 mana or something. Yeah, 350 mana. At that point, you can let the grunt die. It's fine. Honestly, it would have been the better play to just possibly sacrifice the grunt and make sure you scout rather, because it's more important to see an AP coming up than to save that one single grunt when the opponent has already invested so much. Of course, that is criticizing on a very, very high level, but if you want to min-max all the way through, it would have been better to look for that AP and let the grunt die if it has to die. But again, props to SaiDe for realizing what he had to do to salvage that catastrophic early game. Very, very impressive with his own style as well. Not too many go Dryads into MGs. Can be dangerous, but he had worked out.
All right, Grubby. Can he tie this up? We've seen quite a few full game series here today. I wouldn't mind to see another one of these. Last Refuge next. Of course, an absolute legend to the game. Still among the top 5 highest earning players, if I'm not mistaken. One of the very few players who accumulated more than $300,000 prize money in his career. 2-time WCG champion. I was there one time in Cologne with the 2-1 over Moon, Kaldor, Reaper casting it. An entire venue just screaming, cheering, celebrating this man. That is a memory I will, even after 15, 20, 30 years, never forget. Definitely a day that fueled my heart for esports back then at WCG. And now, Grubby is still playing, but he is facing elimination, but he knows how to do comebacks, and maybe he also knows how to throw his opponent off, because SaiDe is still pretty new to competitive Warcraft. I think even his win yesterday was his biggest accomplishment in the past year. We keep on underestimating him. He has a lot of talent, but does he have the nerves when it comes to winning a best of 3 against Grubby? We will see. Map number 2, Last Refuge.
And thank you to our newest supporters. Rocinante with the 5 gifted subs. Ailwell with 100 bits. Einerler with the 2 months. Peepoo with the 2 months. Paralog GG with a gifted sub, and Rat So Fat with a 10 gifted subs. Guys, thank you.
Much love, ladies and gentlemen. And we move over. Map number 2. Grubby against the ropes. Needs your support. He needs to be in Flying Dutchman shape, and are you kidding me? This is a Shadow Hunter.
Oh yeah, Shadow Hunter first. Yeah, I've seen this before by him. On Last Refuge, I think specifically for creeping. Shadowhunter into Blade Master, actually. Is what I've seen him do here before. Going for the green camp first with the claws, and then setting up plenty of serpent wards, so you can set them up in the middle, like between 3 camps, basically. Between the Murlocs and the green, you put the serpent wards. You creep those 2 for level 2, and then you can even pull the Mer camp into the serpent wards. That is what I've seen before from him on his ladder streams, but that also means this is something that was, open to everyone. So SaiDe may very well be aware of this also. So we'll see how much homework he did.
Yeah, I heard. I'm not too sure. Maybe you can confirm this. VODs are set to subscriber only to prevent people from sniping his practice or something.
Yeah, I think so. But I think SaiDe is a subscriber, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Shadow Hunter first. It is. Serpent wards here. Grunt as well. SaiDe is focusing on his own progress with the Keeper. Goes Treants first, of course. If he wants to inflict some damage to Grubby early, he needs Entangle and Treants and a little bit of support here. So, fairly slow start. Took quite some time to get into map 2, so I wonder if there was some psychological warfare here and there. And if that does affect SaiDe.
Well, we're gonna see a level 2 here coming out for both. Not the greatest items so far. Mantle, okay, that's nice for the Keeper. He's on the ground. He lets it season and ripen a little bit. You know, he hopes the next time he picks it up, maybe it's +4, but I have a bad feeling it's gonna remain +3.
Not until
Shadow
Remo
Hunter
changes balance again.
Ring and Cloak. That is not exactly what you were hoping for, although Cloak can have its uses, especially against the Keeper, if you find yourself in an entangled surround or something like that. But here we go. The Snake Pit. It is going for 3 creep camps here quickly. The focus fire on the Rock Golem. This looks a little bit dangerous. I'm surprised that SaiDe isn't trying to punish this, but he's getting stuff done across the map himself. He says, okay, we're just going to go into a free creep game here at the beginning. He got the double ring.
Rock Golem slipped out. Boulder toss on the Grunt. This might be a disaster. Grubby fixes it with Merc support now.
Yeah, he was going to buy them regardless. He gets the Scourge Bone Chimes, which is nice for the Grunts, and also perhaps nice later on for the Blade Master. As I said, I've seen this with Blade Master 2nd before. And the nice thing is here with this, you have Serpent Wards right away, and with them being level 2, that's going to be very strong. But the Shadow invested all of his mana and HP to do this.
That is an Entangle. That's a Townfall, and there's no potions available yet as Tier 2 is not finished. Keeper punishing this now, but without further losses. Was that it was level 3, so he got exactly what he wanted, but with a lot of damage. Apparently, SaiDe wasn't ready for this, didn't really know about the possibility here, but he sets up his own expansion. He is level 2 and 1 XP away from the powerful level 2 Entangle and 60% of the tier 2 tech as well. Grubby, can he cancel with the help of the mercenaries this Tree of Life?
Yeah, he easily should be able to. He's got plenty of damage here, especially with the Serpent Wards coming in. And the great thing about this creep route is also you have a Shadow Priest. So you have some dispels to use early. So the Entangle by the Keeper doesn't have to be a death sentence. Especially considering this Keeper is still not level 3. But he's so close. And there was a Mantle on the ground. He picks it up.
A little bit of a gift.
Only +3, but he's going to take that gladly.
Right then. Still lots of dispel available as well. So yeah, really no big threat for Grubby yet. As he approaches tier 2, goes into Berserker Strength, or Brute Strength as it's called now. And the Spirit Lodge. No Beastery this time, probably not needed. He doesn't know if there's lores or not. It's Treants 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe due to the Shadow Priest.
Spell
yeah.
On the other side, exactly. And the Blade Master 2nd is coming out with the Brute Strength, with the Lodge. A very rare sight, but displayed before by Grubby if you were watching his streams, which a lot of people are. So the expansion was cancelled, and SaiDe definitely seems to be in trouble. This Keeper strat has to play with an expansion at some point, and we still don't have one coming up.
Okay, first Entangle with an Alchemist this time. No Demon Hunter second against the Shadow Hunter first. Can he deny? He can deny. Nice little move by Grubby here to prevent the progress of the Alchemist. But it's a big battle for this Ogre Magi. Can lead to a great item. It's a summon war. Snakes on sticks versus walking treants. This Alchemist is taking a lot of damage all of a sudden.
He just stole the last one.
What? Are you kidding me?
With the Shadow Hunter. I think he stole 2 maybe.
Oh my god.
This Alchemist has only 30 experience. Yeah, he definitely got the big boy.
Yeah.
Shadow almost level 4, which is a wonderful level up.
Jesus.
He's going to have Heal Wave 2 soon. We have the Blade Master coming in now. He's, of course, not going to be too impressive for quite some time. This Blade Master needs some levels and items to actually be dangerous. But if he's not that much of a damage dealer, he's always a decent tank with all the armor that he has.
A player's forces are under attack.
And of course a good scout as well. More Shaman, more Grunts, no transition at the moment. Not necessary. Set on the other side, once again, going into Dryads. That was the play on map 1 with the backup of an expansion. That's not the case here. Grubby, how fast will he realize this? Will he even need Raiders this time, or Serpent Wards just enough on a high level?
Level 3 Serpent Wards, certainly. They are completely crazy with 50 damage a pop, but Raiders can still be very good. And I think more important than just Raiders is the question of scouting. Grubby will have to make sure he sees if a tier 3 tech is coming in. If a tier 3 tech is coming for Mountain Giants, he will have to react. Either by going tier 3 himself or by playing very aggressively. At the moment, we don't see tier 3 yet. Oh, no, wait a minute. Just started. There we go. Tier 3 just started, and Grubby needs to figure this out soon.
We've seen the rights of scouting, like information is with more diversity of builds in the Warcraft scene in the past 2 years. Scouting has become more and more and more important. Grubby is spreading out, trying to get some information with peons. Everything is all over the map. What is happening? When can he find out? Got the Lion Horn of Stormwind for a set. That's pretty good. More armor, always appreciated. More damage on Grubby, who is now up at 2 auras, which is very good. And now Grubby is approaching the sad main base. And he's not going for the creep spot first. He's going for the base, and it's daytime. So he should be able to see this. And he's not forgetting about the shop now.
Yeah, and canceling the enemy shop, that means no Mountain Giants.
Yeah.
You need the shop to be able to make those MGs. Grubby up on the high ground, a little bit dangerous here if he gets creep jacked, but the Serpent Wards also give him a very reinforced position. Shop, if it finishes, is going to be a lot of mana for the Shadow. Repositioning with the Speed Scroll. Blade Master, the item on the ground. Ankh, not too bad for him to help the frontliner survive. And these Dryads, I don't think they can dare to fight against these snakes.
It's really nice to have the Devotion Aura now against all this damage. Helps them a bit. But yeah, mischance. That is horrible. Blade Master crits twice. Escapes into safety. And this shop is almost up already. The Engine of War is coming in. But he's very slow. And can be taken out easily as well. Grubby striking back with vengeance here.
Yeah, this strong Shadow Hunter doing a wonderful job. Getting closer and closer to 5, by the way. Blade sees the shop finishing and he knows, okay, now Mountain Giants can start. And instantly, the first one is coming out. But no upgrades yet. And they only become good when they have upgrades. Yeah. But when they do have them, they're extremely good.
It's a long tech tree for the Mountain Giants indeed. But he cancels the shop again. Bear's cute, actually. That is interesting. They can't be ensnared, of course.
Yeah, I think he just gives up on the MGs, realizing there's not too much pressure. And he's not going to get the shop, he's not going to get the upgrades. He needs to have something better right now. But Bears also take some time. This push is just hitting before set is ready.
Yeah.
Blade Master into the back. The Dryad is taking so much damage. These Serpent Wards doing so much DPS. Shadow Hunter out of mana now, but still with the clarity. And most importantly, the shop ready in the back. I think Grubby realizes what cost him game 1.
Absolutely.
He's not going to let it happen again.
That was such a quick fix for game 1. Timing, excellent. And yeah, having that shop here. Clarity is running. We're so close to 5 now. And did this Blade Master creep more than 2 spots? I'm not too sure, actually. Like red spot and lab, right? And he's up at 3.5. Critting for 130. Have fun dealing with these, this Orc army. Set. Diving back deep into his own base, losing more and more and more Moonwells. And Grubby can retreat whenever he wants to now.
Also, since there's no shop, there's no Orb of Venom. That's one of the biggest upgrades that Night Elf has on tier 3, that Orb of Venom. But if you don't have a shop, you can't go for it. And this is the weakness of Mountain Giants. They take a long time to come online, and you can absolutely punish them before they are ready in high numbers with good upgrades. And Grubby is just taking out one building after the next. I'm sure he has pillage. Does he? Oh yeah, he does actually. He's getting a bit of cash here as well. And this base is quickly disappearing. No Moonwells left. Set is hoping for an overextension at this point. If the Blade Master goes too deep, maybe he can kill him. If the Shadow goes too deep, maybe he can kill him. But he knows if Grubby doesn't mess up, he can't win this.
Yeah, I don't think this will happen to Grubby twice. Like, he made that mistake in game 1. But he's such a smart player and human being in general that this will not happen. And he's coming in like a wrecking ball. Q Miley Cyrus cutting production in half now. He can't even produce anything because the Moonwells are missing. No chance to rebuild. SaiDe is trying to draw out this game a little longer, to drag out this game a little longer, but everything falls. GG.
Well played. Cool strat by Grubby. We've seen that before. He has these tailor-made strategies for specific maps, and sometimes they look absolutely amazing. We saw that against Hawk on Concealed with the Headhunters into Torrents, and here as well with the Shadowhunter special creep route. But I think SaiDe was playing way too passive. He took the trade. He was like, okay, you know what? I let you creep. I let you do your thing, but I'm going to do my thing on my side of the map. But his idea was, with that creeping, he was going to expand, but he didn't respect enough the strength that Shadowhunter level 3 later on was going to bring, and the fact that he wasn't going to be able to hold. So, wrong decision by SaiDe to be too passive early on. But, I mean, how many times have you played against that before? Probably never. From now on, though, SaiDe will know.
SaiDe will definitely know. And do you know something, Remo? I mean, obviously, you know a lot about Warcraft, but did you know that more than 10,000 people are watching us right now, and that hasn't happened since the Blizzard Invitational in Anaheim in 2018? Or Irvine 2018?
That's pretty sick, dude. Guys, thank you all for joining us. 10,000 people, that must be a lot of new people here. If you like Warcraft and you want to see some more of that in the future, hit the follow button. We just hit 100,000 followers earlier today, so we're breaking all sorts of records.
We're breaking all records.
Really cool.
Like, can you imagine?
Really cool to see.
This is a small football stadium of people watching Warcraft right now in 2021.
Yeah, it's a good game, dude. It's a great game.
It's a great game, indeed. And it's great people out there, and they show it, especially this weekend. So, SaiDe, what's left in the tank? We go onto the map 3. We go onto Turtle Rock.
And that one is much harder to assess what we're supposed to expect and what we're supposed to be seeing. Turtle Rock is still new to the map pool, new in the sense that it is reintroduced. I imagine we have a lot of old school people here tuning in today, and you guys might remember 2008, 2009, Turtle Rock was played all the time. But around 2016 or something, it was rotated out of the pool, but it has made its way back again here in W3 Champions Finals and also in WGL, but we still don't see it that much. For Echo Isles, for Twisted, for Last Refuge, we all know how the early game is supposed to look, what the creep routes are, what the counters can be, but Turtle Rock is once again kind of uncharted territory, which makes it very interesting and I suppose a little more volatile. A big map, lots of expansion possibilities, so many creeps to go around, so many possibilities for little tricks as well. And that will be our deciding third map.
If this goes as crazy as, for example, Fly versus Lawlight and WGTL, without the disconnects, maybe that would be amazing. But that was a banger of a match. And this, you can, as a Night Elf, expand multiple times, and especially Grubby has all the weapons to shut that down, so it could be a game of whack-a-mole. I hope they bring both their A-game now. That would be a fantastic end to the quarterfinal, and then afterwards, of course, we go into the semis, and the grand final is here as well. This is the last best of 3. This is the last match of the quarterfinals. Todd is waiting in the semis. Happy versus X-Lord is waiting for us as well. And more than 10,000 people are watching.
It's pretty cool. Lots of viewers, lots of support as well. This is, of course, all crowdfunded, in case you guys don't know. We had the Season 6 already crowdfunded yesterday. You can still chip in a little bit more for Season 6 tournament. We're going to have a 2v2 as well as the 1v1 competition, which is going to be happening around March, by the way. I hope all you guys will be back for that. But also, our support has been outstanding. Thank you guys so much for that. And the most recent people to support us are MoFad with the 9 months, saying, go Grubby. Cheeky Wanker with the 26 months, says, just crack the mark of 10,000 people watching you cast. Congrats, boys. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. That's 5 figures. Not too shabby. Wakey Eggs subbing for the first time. Penta Pishner with the 20 months says 1-1. Yes! Inglorious Staffords with the 7 months says pumped for these games. Thanks for the cast, as always. Thank you, Iron Matt, as well for the sub. And thank all of you so much for the support on this weekend of Warcraft Alliance, I suppose, of a a community celebration. This is community-made War3 champions. Where Blizzard failed, the community stepped in. And this is a celebration of what the community is, what it can be, and what we can all do together if, everyone collaborates. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty beautiful. And I'm glad we're all here together.
Damn, for once I can't put it into better words than you just did. Even getting a little emotion into that. Rare to see on Coach Remo that he's so proud of something. Indeed. Thank you, Burrow Rush, for the 5 gifted subs, and Ami Gozmion, butchered that name, sorry about that. Grubby is taking a sweet moment to think about his strategy here, maybe refocus. Maybe once again, letting Sad wait. He must be nervous being so close to a victory, then being slapped in the face on game 2. In probably his biggest match. This is definitely the biggest attention Sad ever got in the Warcraft scene, at least. I don't know what he's doing in real life, but a lot of eyes on him. There's not only us, there's of course Grubby streaming as well. There is Frenchcraft streaming. There's so many community streamers.
Yeah. I think in the ESL Championat, he also got pretty far, right? He got like 3rd place or something. But it was SaiDe and Krav outshining him there. But there have been rumblings of how good SaiDe is and how people should respect him. And he's definitely proving that today. He might ruin everyone's favorite semifinal, but absolutely deservingly would be able to do that. SaiDe has been looking really good. And so has Grubby. We're going to have our decision coming up in a moment, and we have more support coming in. First with the 5 gifted subs, and Fitchy 3000 with a sub as well as PU with a 2-month resub. Guys, thank you very much. And I think it's time to go to map 3.
I think it's time to go to map 3 as well. It's an unbelievable clash. On the one hand side, we got an absolute legend to this game who's been there since 2003 with prize monies up at $300,000 and 2 and more world championships to his chest. And on the other side, we have SaiDe with a tournament debut, according to Liquipedia, in 2020 with prize monies total below $500. That will change, of course, after W3C season finals. Can he go into the Final 4? Can he meet his countryman Todd in the semifinals? Or will it be the 4 kings meeting in 2021 with Grubby and Todd? We decide this on Try to Rock.
Huck Princess with the 3 months as well. Thank you very much. So, let's see. Do we have another special strategy? It was a very special build on last Refuge, tailor-made. And looking at this base, there's something curious here. A war mill, and there's something else missing. The barracks, which is coming in now. It's the Farseer Headhunter build by Grubby, displaying 3 different strats on 3 maps. Really cool.
That is indeed a testament to Grubby's knowledge about this game. He's practicing every day, sometimes a little more in a funny and cheeky way, but if things get serious, he knows exactly what to do. These are not cheese strats, these are strats that have proven themselves over and over and might be able to surprise his opponents. So, Wolves out. SaiDe knows about this very early on. And I think it's once again a very Farseer heavy harass with late headhunters, and we see the fast tech already.
Second Burrow coming in, headhunters soon to join. Headhunters late game can be very good, having lots of headhunters and then scouting, creeping in the mid game, and late game having them for berserkers with the upgrade and then becoming very powerful. But the weakness, the problem of them always is how do they survive into the late game? How many will you lose? How rampant is the keeper gonna go? If the keeper gets level 3 fast, those headhunters will probably have a very tough time. But this is a map where the keeper cannot so easily creep up very fast. Grubby probably smartly realizing this. The only safe camp the opponent can go for is the green for only around 100 experience. And after that, the Farseer will apply pressure right away.
Yeah.
The keeper will get level 2 at some point. Can't be delayed forever, but getting level 3, it's going to be pretty damn hard for SaiDe here.
And I think this is the smartest thing to do against a player that might show signs of nervousness here. Don't let him unfold his game. Don't let him out of the pocket of his side of the map. Pressure him immediately, showing I'm here, I'm ready, I'm used to these situations, or I was at least for the majority of my life. So how do you deal with this? And this is, psychologically speaking, a very smart play by Grubby with a strategy that doesn't fall off into the late game, which, yeah, I think very well done so far.
He's keeping this Keeper of the Grove locked here on low supply. Once there's like 6 archers, it should be able for them to trade pretty well. They can snipe the wolves fairly easily, and then they can attack the headhunters. And they should, on paper, trade a little bit better than the headhunters because they have Loon's Grace, which gives them additional damage reduction. Plus, of course, there's Moonwells. They can heal up, the headhunters can't. Not yet, anyways. We're gonna have some heal salves in the shop coming in for Grubby soon, but there's no such thing yet. And oh, look at that! There was a few archers over to the other side. What a sneaky smart play. Grubby scouted with the wolves at some point, but not fast enough. But he stole a last hit! He stole one last hit and prevented the Keeper from leveling up.
Yeah, he stole a little turtle. Not the big one, but the little one. That woofie. Give me some woofies in chat, ladies and gentlemen. That one deserved it. And Grubby still has more mana. Now he has the damage. 4 headhunters are moving out. That Ogre Magi goes to him. And just as we said in a match prior by Exlord versus Cash, getting these Watcher wards is so important if you spawn in the same lane, especially. And this time, it's not blocked here at the merchant. It's on the lane. So whenever Set is going this way and positions himself here on the map, Grubby will know.
Absolutely. And it also gives him freedom now to creep with his headhunters. He knows the Keeper isn't quite coming in. The Keeper now is entangled. He could go on a hunt on the headhunters, but he can't kill them too easily. Again, if the Keeper now gets level 3 fast, for example, at his natural, things could become dangerous. So this is the difficult mid-game act of Grubby right now. He wants to be able to level up his TC while also, if he can, slow down the level 3 of the Keeper. Hard to do. Let's see how he does.
We talked a lot about like scouting and stuff, right? Set plants the Ancient of Lore, and the second the building starts, the wolf is there. Incredible. Demon Hunter second, again, going back to his winning strategy of Northern Isles.
Yeah, MG and Dryad is usually the army you want to have super late game, with Orb of Venom, 2 of them, and maybe even a 3rd hero. That Ogre Lord surround didn't quite work, but might be able to kill it off over time. Willing to invest a bit of mana here via Stomp. Oh, the Creep Jack coming in. 2 Stomps used to get this camp. Might be worth it. The Keeper just a little bit too late.
Battle Drum's incredible with Headhunters. Can maybe delay the Kodo for that. 1 Headhunter and the TP going for it, though. And the mana. That was expensive.
And now the Keeper's level 3, but the timing seems to work out because the first Shaman is out already. More Shaman will be coming soon with some upgrades as well. And Tier 3 started. Grubby is getting ready for the late game. If he manages to make it to Tier 3 and 50 supply without losing too much, his potential is off the charts. TC level 3, maybe even level 4, should add in a Shadowhunter for healing at some point. And, of course, the Shaman Master Training, aka the Rah for the Bloodlust, can make these headhunters super strong. Of course, they also get the Berserker upgrade, and maybe, if this game drags out even longer, Torrents could be an option as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, it wouldn't be an 11,000 viewer broadcast without Rah, would it? So, would love to see that. Cooper already eliminated. Cash already eliminated. Grubby, as so often, is the last hope for orcs. Sad is the last hope for Night Elves, actually, with Foggy not in this tournament, with Neutron eliminated earlier. And what do we got? Big invul, good inventory for the Demon Hunter for sure. Second lore coming up, Tier 3 at 3 waters. TC, not close to 3. Neither is not fast here. Sent back now, though. Need still 1/3 of the tech for the Tier 3 of Grubby.
Grubby's playing this super passively, realizing he doesn't have to risk anything. He's got the late game on his side with the Tier 3 soon coming in. Look at this, Set just sending in 1 Dryad just to scare Grubby a little bit. Yep. This Dryad can't really do anything. She's just scouting a little bit and making Grubby slightly afraid.
Super fast, of course, and if there's no lockdown, the Dryads can't really be purged, and there's no ensnare, and they can't be stomped, so yeah, there's no real threat if you control them well.
He's going bears.
What? Who
No
goes
mountain
bears?
Giants?
Why would you go
What?
bears if you have the chance to go mountain giants?
Yeah, bears are worse against headhunters. They're worse against stomp. They're worse against farseer. Oh,
Maybe
I mean,
he
the
thinks
regen for the demon is nice, yes,
Yeah.
but everything else is just so much worse.
And there is regen here with the Rune of Healing anyway, so I'm not too sure if that's necessary at this very moment. You can always chip in a bear later, especially for Roar. Not too sure if I like it either. I'm with you there. Bit of cunning. It's no aura, but it's decent. And Grubby greedily putting down an expansion. Might just be an expansion to force his opponent to his side of the map to start a fight there.
Yeah, tactical expos, we see that more and more nowadays. Not purely designed to just get the expo up, but also to put a threat on the map and force some reaction of the opponent. For example, if you can creep 3 camps while your opponent is only canceling your expansion, that is absolutely a good trade for you. Grubby creeps another camp right there, and now he's got the tier 3 online. Berserkers ready. First Witch Doctor out already.
I was about to say the same. A Grubby classic, especially on big maps. Like, the value of a Witch Doctor is so insane. Put down these wards, they last forever. You got the vision, and if you give Grubby some knowledge, he punishes you so hard for
He's running out of TP range.
single mistake. And that was almost one. Devotion Aura for the Night Elf as well, set at 50. No expansion for him though, and Grubby has so much time bought already for the Great Halls at 50%. It was a little bit of a gamble. He could have cancelled if it fails, but looks like this is coming through, and now we see a Mountain Giant transition. Maybe too late.
That took quite some time. Is he going to go for the classic 50 supply into upgrades and then double MG 64? We've seen that before be quite successful, especially by Foggy, but that was against Happy in a very different matchup. And if he waits that long, Grubby is going to be on 2 bases, along with being fully fleshed out tier 3 Orc. The one problem for Grubby here is, on Turtle Rock, since it's such an old map and in many ways sort of outdated in its design, it doesn't have laps, so it doesn't have shredders, which is normally what you want to have, so Grubby's going to have to remake some more peons, which is a little bit annoying, but I imagine if this expansion is standing and he can keep on creeping, he's not going to be too concerned about this. Going to the shop, is he going to go for a lightning orb? Don't tell me he's going for another tiny great hole, that would be crazy. Orb of lightning.
Orb of lightning, yeah. That would be super greedy. Parry up tier, more tankiness on the TC. He's closing in on 5 actually. No third hero yet. Shadowhunter missing, but Bloodlust is almost done. It's at 2/3. Set is seeking success in offense here. Okay. We can't cancel this anymore. There's no sappers on this map. There's 3 bears. Okay, but Grubby can certainly deal with this.
Yeah, normally the way you deal with this Orc late game is you have MGs in front, they soak up all the damage, and they survive. Usually everything else just dies. These are Berserkers 2 are upgraded with Bloodlust. I don't know how Set is supposed to hold the line here, and he can't.
He doesn't
He cannot without excuse me, Mountain Giants. So you had to TP out there.
There's an expansion for Set now. But Grubby is already on the way. Like, feels like he knows. He can just go with the Wolf and then cancel it immediately. It's a little bit of a desperation expansion by Set, I feel, at this point. Because he needs so much time. And he's up against 2 bases now, which makes things a lot harder. And usually it's the Night Elves running away with economy in this matchup. They tried to plant multiple trees to force the Orc out on the map. But this is not happening here. It's Grubby that does this.
Looks like Grubby has map hack. He must see like 70% of the map or something.
There's so many
Watcher
wards.
wards. He's got sentry wards from his one single Witch Doctor. Very bad for fighting is the Witch Doctor, but it's crazy how much vision he can give you.
Yeah.
Those sentry wards give him vision absolutely everywhere. And there's going to be no surprise expansions coming up for Set. Hell no.
Yeah, Fly and Grubby both. They love the Witch Doctor and they use it to full effect. And now, look at the inventories here. We got a heal scroll, we got a protection scroll, we got 2 auras for Grubby. We got 2 heal scrolls actually, a big healing and an invul. This TC's not gonna die. He's getting up to level 5. What else does he get? Did he just buy a parry app? Or was it a TP?
Already.
Ah, okay.
But,
That was a
he is a
TP.
tanky boy indeed.
He sees every single movement, and he knows that SaiDe is crossing the middle, so he's positioning himself here at the tavern, at the gatekeeper. You shall not pass, SaiDe. You're not interfering with my 2-base mining.
Yeah, SaiDe has 2 MGs coming out. They're going to be done in around 20 seconds, maybe 30.
Oh my God.
He has to
2
win with
upgrades.
it. That is his last timing. Team in a bit of trouble, but he gets staffed out. These 2 MGs have to win the game for him. Yeah. If he doesn't win with that push, Grubby is just going to overwhelm with insane mass.
2-1 upgrades for the Berserkers, plus the battle drums, plus endurance aura. There's so much damage. Plus, of course, Bloodlust for the additional attack speed. Heroes are great. Witch Doctor finally getting intercepted here. But yeah, also another thing, this Keeper not scaling too well into the very late game. There's limited disable on Grubby's side, so maybe Tranquility is good at some point, but rather not, I would say. More levels, that's almost level 5, and everybody knows what that means on a TC.
Yeah, that Stomp is one of the strongest spells in the game. Against Demon Hunter, not as reliable. Maybe even Aura would be better, I'm not sure, but regardless, this TC is very strong. If nothing else, he's a massive tank. Alright, SaiDe is going to start off with a freebie. He has the double Orb of Venom. He has the double Mountain Giant. This is the timing that he needs to win with.
Smart play by Grubby. He couldn't walk back through that needle hole, so he repositions, but where the tanks, the heroes are in the back, the TC is absolutely useless in this position. SaiDe with a massive amount of Wisp. Can they detonate into the back? They get rid of a lot of Bloodlust, but the Shamans still look hot to me.
They can still reapply the Bloodlust rah-rah all over the place. Invul Potion on the Demon Hunter. The TC doesn't have to use it yet. Still has plenty of items to survive with. Grubby's waiting for that shop to finish. Then he can go for mana potions and more stomps. But hey, SaiDe, he's having a decent fight over here. TC in trouble. He's getting pushed back. Grubby lost a lot of army.
Exactly. He's down to 50. And how to get the reinforcements here? He has a lot of gold, but he doesn't have any lumber remaining. The shop, last seconds, will set focus on that. Then there's no potions, and he absolutely is. Grubby backed against the corner. Literally. Heal potion used in the TC as well, level 5, but no mana to use. Grubby facing elimination as SaiDe with his last breath, pushing forward, killing more and more.
Grubby can't get out of here.
Nope.
There's no escape. There's no TP. Grubby just TP'd into his own death trap. The Mountain Giants do it again.
Oh my God.
It looked so bad, but somehow it's happening.
He gets it. The Fascia GG. Grubby is out. SaiDe ruins the community's dream and has his best result of his career against the most decorated Warcraft player in European history. What a victory for the absolute dark horse, being in the toughest position and finding the one way out of this game.
Wow. I was so worried for SaiDe. I thought this game was absolutely over, but it wasn't yet. Grubby's forces not quite good enough. It doesn't matter how many headhunters you have. The Mountain Giants just don't take damage, or hardly any damage anyways. And the double Orb of Venom to put in the DPS from behind, plus the Roar. Very impressive. 2 games, SaiDe shows that he knows exactly what he needs to do to win, despite the game being difficult. And he makes it into the semis to everyone's surprise.
This man is turning out to be a hero here. I was checking Wikipedia, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, and 1 year ago exactly was the Gold League, where we had this insane performance by Fortitude that turned him into a star before he had a little bit of a downfall in the summer of 2020. But it feels like the first tournaments of the year are making quite some stars, and we get our French Derby in the semifinals. It's not SaiDe, it's not Krav, it is Todd and SaiDe in the Human versus Night Elf for the grand final of the W3C Season 4 finals. Unfortunately, for the community, of course, that once again, we are not seeing the encounter of Grubby versus Todd, but seeing Rising Stars in 2021 in Warcraft is almost as good. And what a story for this man. What a story for SaiDe. Twice in a row, he had, like, not in a row, but, you know, on Northern Isles and on Turtle Rock, he was behind and he had exactly one way out. And he finds that way out. That compass is working well.
Pretty crazy. Grubby couldn't fit in Torrents, especially without a Shredder. You don't have the lumber. If he wanted to go Torrents, he would have had to play on one base. But if you have the strength to secure that to make sure that you can secure a second base, I guess you should always do it. But the power of Mountain Giants, dude. Mountain Giants against piercing damage, pretty damn good.
Damn this set. Sky seems to be the limit for Sad now. How far can he take this? The ultimate Cinderella story right at the beginning of the year? Or is Todd ruining the dream of his countrymen? That would be quite something as well. We got 3 more series for you guys. I hope you are not leaving now because Grubby is out, because the other players definitely deserve your attention as well. We have a little bit of a break, and then it's time for Todd versus Sad if they are not shuffling things around.
Yeah, seems like we're going to be going with Todd's game first. Sad doesn't seem to object. Apparently, that's the schedule. But yeah, we're going to have a small break, and then we're going to be back with more games. The semifinals starting, our best of 5 starting, the top 4. And we have a lot of support here. I think we left off with... God damn it, where were we? We were at PoE. Hug Princess, thank you for the 3 months. Tim Bunker, thank you for the 7 months. Mars Punisher, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you. 10 euros donated by a guy named 10. Thank you. Benzine Mogul, thank you for the 17 months. Jay, thank you for the 33 months. Honk with a sub. Thank you. Man mit dem Riesenrüssel, thank you for the 10 euros. Says, congrats to 10k viewers. Perfect start into 2021. This will be your year. Joker39, thank you for the sub. Avo Plus, thank you for the sub. Puni WC3 with the 12 months. Says, Grubby Smash Elf Smork. Freeze with the 4 months. Says, good new year. And Kratos with the 20 gifted subs. Holy hallelujah. Hallelujah on this day of the Lord. Guys, thank you all very much. That's wonderful.
We are moving into the final 4. It is Todd, it is Sad, it is Happy, it is X-Lord, and you are not going anywhere. You are spreading the word about this wonderful tournament. Check out the Matcherino for W3 Champions. Check out the Patreon. There is 5,000 games a day on this server, and there's only 60 Patreons at the moment. That doesn't sound right. If you have $1 spare a month, support the wonderful developers team of W3 Champions if you can over here, patreon.com/W3 Champions. We take a little bit of a breather, and then it's time for the French Derby in the final 4. It is Todd punching for the grand final against the up-and-coming star that is Sad. See you in a bit.